Hey everyone, this is Dr. Andy with AG Thrive, and I am here today to deliver what I hope is something very valuable, certainly something that's very important and applicable to, well, pretty much everyone, because it is about developing an emotional vocabulary. And while it is certainly something you can develop at any stage of life, I think the optimal time to develop it is probably in childhood. And it's surprising to me sometimes, maybe it shouldn't be, but how many of the kids I work with really are out of touch with their feelings, right? And I think an important thing that I often do in my work with families and kids is helping them to really start to identify when they're having these types of reactions, right? When they're really irritable and angry, that what is, creating that feeling, sometimes is it hunger, is it anxiety, is it stress? But having the ability to, there's kind of a mindfulness element to this, is the ability to stop and reflect, and then to be able to actually name or identify what it is that you're feeling, and to be aware of when I feel anxious, this is what I feel. I feel tightness in, kind of my neck or my shoulders or whatever it is. But there's some really good research out there that if you can name your feeling, that it almost objectifies the feeling. So instead of subjectively being so stuck in the feeling and in it, it allows you to kind of see your feeling, right? If that makes sense. And in doing that, it gives you a better chance to then think your way through it, or to be able to find coping strategies that can be really beneficial, right? And I think when I'm talking about emotional vocabulary, I'm not just talking about naming kind of the negative emotions or feelings like sadness, anger, but I think it's great to be able to identify, I'm feeling joy right now, right? I feel really grateful, and to memorize or to really internalize what that state feels like, right? In fact, a lot of work that I think is revolutionary that's been doing with adults is helping people to really internalize and memorize certain feeling states, and then priming your brain by essentially pulling that feeling up, right? So you're going to an important meeting, you're getting ready to go on a date, and then instead of having to generate that feeling, it's like memorizing when I feel really grateful or I feel super confident, this is the posture I have, this is, kind of the way I feel. And if I can memorize that feeling and really be aware of what that feels like, what I'm walking, talking like, then I can kind of generate that feeling, right? So I think there's a lot of applications to this that I think can be really powerful. And I think the way to do it as parents is to just help your kids when they are, starting to feel in a mood, is to ask them what they're feeling. And if they don't have the ability to name it, there's those those feeling charts, are surprisingly good, and help them to point out where it is that they're feeling on that chart. And if you don't know what I'm referring to, I'm happy to create a link, that links to one of these. There's great books on, that kind of describe feelings and go through the entire feeling, chart that I think can be really wonderful. And that's definitely one of the things I've done with my kids. And then I think identifying what it is that you're feeling as the parent, right? Being able to say, the more in touch you are with your feelings and the better you are at sharing that with your kids, the more likely it is that they also are then going to be comfortable with their feelings and in touch with those feelings. And I really probably can't understate how important I really think this is. I think the ability to, kind of acknowledge, identify, and then I would say the last piece of that is to know what to do with those feelings, right? When you're grateful or joyful or feeling connected with someone, it's probably just celebrating that feeling and maybe journal about it later, because that's a great thing to capture there. But when you're feeling anxious, you're feeling stressed, you're mad, is kind of having a repertoire of tools or coping skills that, okay, now I know that this is what I'm feeling and I have a choice on what to do with it, right? It really helps you to internalize that sense of, I have some level of control, that when I have these feelings, I know what to do with them, so I can work through with them, process them, and have more of healthy feelings and less of the, dysfunctional or kind of sometimes negative feelings. So I hope that was helpful and practical. I really enjoy getting to share this information. So if you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call, contact us. And I wish you all the best in growing the life, love, family, and success you want. Thanks.